Okay, hi guys. We're going to start our middle sequence now. So we assume we're all warmed up. And we're going to start in a mountain pose, standing position. So we're going to take a big breath in, reaching the arms up nice and high. And as we exhale with a little bend in the back of those knees, let's come on down with a swan dive, fingertips onto the mat and lifting the toes a bit. Tummy's in tight here, keeping the knees bent if we're still feeling a little tight in those hamstrings. So let's inhale, lift the chest, tummy's in tight. As we exhale, we can step or jump back to your plank. Knees, chest and chin, or your lowered plank, and cobra or up dog. As we exhale, let's lift the hips, sink the heels down into our down dog, and we're going to actually bend through the knees, arch through the back, and roll it back into a high plank. Okay, from here, we're going to roll into a side plank on the right side, and roll back through plank to a side plank on the left side. So we're going to do that a few times. Try and do it with your tummy in tucked nice and tight, because this really works all of the abdominals. So we go from obliques to middle abdominals and then to the other obliques as we roll from side to side with lots of control, right? Don't fling it around. Lots of control, nice and slow. Okay? One more time each side, and of course if that lifted arm is too high, you can keep it down. Okay, we're going to stay on the right side this time in our side plank, and if you need to modify it, you can step that top leg in front, and then from there lift up through the hips and torso. Try to create some space between your side body and the mat. Okay, so choosing your side plank wherever you're comfortable. We're going to lift off that top foot, just touch that top toe behind you and begin to drive the hips up as we open up through the chest and reach that top arm back. Beautiful heart opening, wild thing pose. Good. Let's take a big breath in here. And as we exhale, we're going to roll it back through our plank pose, but we're going to crunch that left knee in. Okay? And then we're going to take it down to the inside of that back foot, keeping this bottom leg lifted. If we can, extend it, keeping it lifted a bit more. Yes, we're working those inner thighs as we do this. Let's let that foot down, drive the hips up again, just like in Wild Thing, opening up into a fallen angel, or fallen triangle they call it. Good. Good, let's bring it back to our plank, crunch that left knee in. Taking it back to plank, knees, chest and chin, or lower plank, cobra or up dog. Lower plank push up and down dog. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. So bend through those knees, roll it up to our plank pose, and now our rolling plank. Okay, so if you've got a good balance in your side plank, you can stack one foot over the other. If you still need a little help, you can keep one foot in front of the other, right? So both feet stay on the ground and you have better balance like that, all right? So one more time each side. Tummy's in nice and tight. Last time on this left side. So we hold our side plank here for a second. And if you're super comfortable in side plank, you can get adventurous. Okay? Whatever you need to do, lifting those hips up nice and high. Good. So from there, we're releasing that top foot, touching the toe behind us a bit, driving the hips up, opening up that front body. Beautiful heart opening, back bend. Good, let's bring it back to plank. Remember to crunch that right knee in, taking it down to the inside of that standing foot. Drive that lifted leg out. Lift, 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 lift just as long as you can. Lower that bottom foot down. Reach the top arm, fallen triangle. Good, lift that arm up, come on back to our plank, crunch that knee in, then come back to our plank, knees, chest and chin, or lowered plank, cobra or up dog. Lower plank push up, or straight into your down dog. You can skip that push up if you like. Let's bend through the knees and step or jump into the hands. We're going to inhale right here, exhale. Lower the chest down. We're going to stay here for a moment just with some nice deep breaths in and exhale out. And again, in. Good. So because we're so warm now, these hamstrings should feel a little bit looser, but always listen to your body. If they're still screaming and saying, no, no, I'm not loose yet, then keep those knees bent. Okay? So one more time, big breath in, and exhale, roll it down. So when we're coming up this time, both knees bend, we're going to lift that right knee up. And let's just bring it into the chest. So having a little balance here, okay? So get used to the balance. And then when you're ready, you can grab that right big toe with your first two fingers and thumb and extend that leg. So you extend that leg just as far as you're comfortable. It doesn't matter if that leg does not straighten, okay? If that leg straightens and your hip's all the way up here, try bringing that hip back down. And if that means you need to bend that leg, then go ahead and bend that leg, okay? Good, let's take a breath in right here. And exhale, if you're comfortable, go ahead and open that leg up to the side. Good, and a couple more breaths. Again, be conscious of that hip tends to lift, right? So let's try and bring it back down. Good, one more time, bring it back in front. Let's hold it right here, one last time. And then we're going to release that big toe. Let's take it behind us, catching that right foot with your right hand and reaching up into a standing dancer. Tummy's in nice and tight. Good, really working the balance on that standing leg, right? Good, let's slowly, with control, bring it back down. Release that foot, let's inhale up to a mountain pose. Exhale, let's roll it all the way down. And again, inhale, roll up. And exhale, roll down. So this time, as we roll up, let's release our left foot and bring that left foot into the chest. So just getting acclimatized with the balance here first. And then release that, the hands, grabbing that big toe with the first two fingers and thumb, or however you can grab. Good. And extend that leg to wherever you're comfortable. Remember that lifted hip, bring it back down. Good, go ahead and open that leg up to the side if you can, if you have the space. And try not to knock down my flowers here. Good, and take it back up to the center. And releasing that foot, taking the leg behind, grabbing that foot with the left hand this time, opening up into a nice standing dancer. So reaching one hand forward, pushing one leg back, tummy's in nice and tight. Good, and slowly come back to the center. Both arms up, let's inhale, reach, and exhale, roll it down. One more time, inhale, roll it up. And exhale, roll back down. Let's leave the fingertips on the mat this time. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, step or jump back to plank. Knees, chest and chin or lower plank. And cobra or up dog. Lower plank push up or straight into your down dog. Let's just lift that right leg. Doesn't matter how high it goes, guys. My hips are pretty open. You just lift it as far as you're comfortable, okay? Good, let's crunch that right knee in and hold. Good, and dog splits like we did in the warm-up. Really great for keeping the warm going now. Good, this time let's hold it right here. Good, and then we're gonna step that right foot. So it doesn't have to be way forward. It can be 3/4 of the way because what we're doing from here is lifting up. So we're lengthening both legs, lift the hips up. And we're lowering that back heel down, kind of perpendicular to the front, okay? So pyramid pose, remember, deep, deep stretch on that hamstring. So if you need to step that back foot in a bit closer, then that's fine, okay? So the more flexible and warm you are in that hamstring, the further apart the legs can be, but however you're comfortable. Okay, so nice stable footing now here in our pyramid pose. We're gonna inhale and come up to standing, and exhale, forward fold along that leg. Inhale, come up to standing, exhale, forward fold. So you really want the quads here engaged, okay? So nice and controlled so that we're not overextending through that hamstring. The quads are supporting that upper body as it comes down, okay? If this up and down makes you dizzy, is too much for you, you can hang out in that pyramid pose. Just hang out right here. Okay, one more time for those going up and down. Big breath in And exhale, let's fold it down right here. Little bend or big bend, whatever kind of bend you need in that hamstring, depending in the knee, depending on how tight that hamstring is. Okay? So we're going to inhale here, lift the chest up a bit. We're going to bend through this front knee and keep easing forward until that back foot lifts. And then you're going to drive it up into the air into a standing splits. Again, it doesn't matter how high that leg lifts, okay? My hamstrings and my hips tend to be pretty open and flexible, so I can drive that leg up. But if your standing splits is here, that is awesome, okay? If it is right here, that is awesome too. Okay, just drive that leg up to wherever you're comfortable with your standing splits. Good. And folding that upper body in towards the standing leg. Now, from here, fingertips still stable on the ground. We're going to bend both knees, and we're going to bring the lifted knee to the outside of the standing leg. Okay, so inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch to the side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch to the side. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch to the side. And keep bending the knee. Keep bending, keep bending, keep bending, and we're sitting. Okay, so the left leg is on the ground, right knee bent up. Okay, we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. And as we exhale, right hand goes behind. Now this left hand, you can wedge your elbow to the outside of the leg, or you can just hold the knee wherever you're comfortable. But we're going to inhale, sit tall right here, making some space up through the spine, right? And then we're going to exhale, and we're going to twist to the right. So if you feel comfortable bringing this left elbow to the outside of that leg, then rock on. If you feel comfortable creating a bind here by reaching that left hand through the triangle space in your leg and your right hand behind, you can bind those hands. If you can't bind those hands, but you're comfortable just reaching them towards each other, then go ahead and do that. Okay, so you're making a step towards the next stage. There's always somewhere further that we can go, isn't there, Jess? Good. So let's inhale, sit tall. And exhale, we're going to release out of this. Both hands come back to the front of our mat. We're stepping back to a lunge. So the right leg was in front before. It stays in front now. And then we're going to step back to plank. Knees, chest, and chin, or lower plank. And cobra or up dog. Lower plank, push up. And lift up to your down dog. Sink those heels. This time the left leg lifts. Plank crunch. Our favorite, dog splits. And plank crunch. And one more, dog splits. This time plank crunch and hold, 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 hold. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze through those abs. And then step that left foot forward. So we're in a lunge. We're going to lift up through the hips, step the back leg in just as close as you need to be comfortable now in this pyramid pose. The back heel has gone down perpendicular to the front. So again, hang out in this pyramid pose if you like it here. If you want a bit more, let's go inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold. I like to spend some time flowing in a particular pose because I find that helps me bring my attention back to my breath. Okay? So inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. So good, strong quads, little bend in the knees to protect the hamstrings. So this is the last one. Let's fold forward. Good. Inhale, lengthen one more time. Create some space all along the back. Exhale in our pyramid. Good. So this is where we're going to walk the fingertips forward. Bend through that front knee. Ease forward. Ease, ease, ease. And the back leg magically lifts off the floor. Okay? Good. So driving that back leg up now to your standing splits. Your standing splits, right? Not my standing splits. Good. Inhale, and remember that this side might well be different to the other side. Okay, so you might have had an injury or on one side or the other, and you might need to accommodate for that. So you should. Okay? All right, we're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, bend both knees, and that lifted knee comes to the outside of the standing leg. So inhale, extend, exhale, crunch down. Inhale, extend, exhale, crunch down. One more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch down. Bend, bend, bend the knees until you are sitting. Okay, and so that I don't back you, I'm going to swivel around, but this time our right leg is on the floor, left knee is bent up. So big breath in, exhale, left hand comes behind, beginning to twist around to your left. Choose what you're doing with this hand. It can hold on to this bent leg. You can cross your elbow for a little leverage, right? But if you're doing this twist with the leverage, remember, inhale, lengthen first, then exhale and twist. Don't just, twist like that. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. And then choose whether you're going to do your bind. So I'm laughing because I'm watching a squirrel eat my pumpkins. Okay, so inhale, exhale. If you're doing the bind, reach that right hand through the space, the triangle space in your lifted leg. Left hand comes behind. You can bind those hands. Inhale, lift up nice and tall, and exhale, twist. So if it is so challenging that your breath gets short, then ease out of it. You need to back off, okay? You need to be able to breathe slow and deep and focus on the breath. But if it becomes so challenging, so tight, that you're like, then you need to back off, okay? Remember, it's not about the pose, it's about the breath. Good, so we're gonna release from here, and we're gonna take a double pigeon, so leave the bottom leg where it is, and stack the top leg on top, all right? So there is a little, so we have sort of ankle to knee, and there's like a triangle space in between your legs. So you might want to pull the flesh out from underneath the sit bones and inhale, sit nice and tall. And as we exhale, let's walk those fingertips forward. Okay, any kind of pigeon pose is just the most awesome way to release tension in the hips and the lower back. So a lot of us, you know how a lot of people store tension in their shoulders. A lot of other people store tension in their hips and their lower back. And I'm definitely one of them. Also, if you do a lot of running, hips and lower back can get very, very tight. So pigeon, this double pigeon is an awesome way to release that tension. So you're just walking your fingertips forward to wherever they reach, right? If they reach here, that's fine. Once you're feeling that nice stretch in your hips and your lower back, then stop there. If it gets aggravating, back off, okay? So inhale, we're